Tech by Tips.
Welcome to another Tech by Tips video. In this video, we're talking about the application named Radarr. We're going to cover how to set it up in the container, how to configure the application, and we're going to test that it works with our configuration. Thank you all for joining this channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It'll help the channel grow. Like the video if you liked it, and feel free to write in the comments any topics that you would like to see covered in the channel. And let's get to it. Welcome. On today's video, we're going to be talking an application named Radarr. This application is a movie collection manager for Usenet and BitTorrent users, and it is used to fetch movie files from the internet that you are interested in, and it keeps track of the quality of the files that you have. If a better quality is available, it'll upgrade that, and it'll keep track of all your media, organize it nicely in your folders, and it's currently going like all the way to like very high resolutions, are 4K, and I think also 8K now. So it's a very good open source application. You can run it in Raspberry Pi, Linux, Mac, Windows. In our case, we're going to be running it in Docker, and we're going to set it up and configure it. If you want to download it, you can just go to github.com/radarr, and that's where you'll find all the information for it and the instructions and details. It has a big community of people that are working on it, so it's well supported. And yes, let's get to it. In our previous video, we set up Sonar, and for this one, we're gonna go again and validate we only have 3 containers, our 2 downloaders and our Sonar. So we're gonna go into the registry and we're gonna look for Radarr. And as usual, we're gonna grab the one that says Linux server Radarr, right click, download, and wait for it to give us the list of versions that are available. Okay, we're gonna select the latest version, and we just wait for it to download the image. Once again, these images are pretty small, so it shouldn't take a long time. Most likely it'll be something like around 300 megs or maybe less. So let's give it some time. And alright, the image was successfully downloaded. We can clear this, and it is a 196 megs of space, so it's really small. We can just select it here and click the launch button. We're gonna leave this as a default. We're gonna click next, and we're gonna rename this container Radarr. We enable resource limitation and enable auto restart, so it doesn't take all the resources of our machine, and if it for some reason gets stopped, it auto starts again. Then we're gonna go into the advanced settings, and here as usual we're gonna add 3 options. So we click 3 times on the add button, and we put the process user ID, which is usually 1026, and the group ID, which is usually 100, and the time zone, that for my case is going to be America, New York, and we select save. Then we proceed and click next. The next thing that we have to do is specify a port. The container is going to be listening on port 7878, so we're going to switch that to port 8083 in our host, because we've already used 8080, 8081, and 8082. So we're going to listen on 8083 in our host. We click next, and then we add the folders that are necessary for our container. First of all, we're going to go into the Docker configs. We don't have an option here, so we create a new folder named Radarr, and then we select that here. Additionally, we add another folder that is going to be pointing to our downloads completed Radarr. And we're also going to add in our media where our movies are going to be located. So the first one is going to be mapped to the config location. The second one is going to be mapped to the downloads location. And the third one is going to be mapped to movies. We then click next. We validate that the information is correct. We leave this checked so that it starts automatically, and we press done. So now it'll start creating a container from that image that we downloaded, and we can see it here. we select Radarr, we go into details and logs, and we check that everything is working out. So we can see it's working. We just have to give it time because it has to set up things, and it's going to be a lot of lines of logs. So just be patient, keep on refreshing until you see that it says that it's listening at a specific port. So let's just give it time, and we'll be back when it's done. Okay, if we go to the very end of the logs, we can see that it's already listening. So now we should be able to go into our IP of our NAS and then go into port 8083, which is what we specified, and we should see the application loading. This is the user interface for Radarr. So our application is responding. The first thing we need to do is go into the settings, because we're gonna set it up just like we did with Sonar. It's very similar. So we're gonna go into media management. The first thing that I like to do here is make sure that I rename the movies and that I remove the quality, because I don't care about having the quality in the name. So it should look like this: the movie title and the year. And then also we want to check this so that if we delete the file from the disk, Radarr doesn't try to re-download them. Additionally, we need to specify a root folder. So we're going to click on this, and we're going to say that our root folder is in the movies directory. So that's where all our movies are going to be stored. And now that we have this, we should be able to just save the changes. And from there, we'll go ahead into the profile section. Really, I normally don't change anything here. This is just if you want to tweak the files that you want to download for each version quality. But honestly, I don't make any changes here. If we go into the quality, we can specify sizes that correspond to the qualities. I also don't touch this, so for me that's a skip. If we go into custom formats, I don't really do anything with this one. You can search on the application documentations what it's used for, because honestly I don't touch it and it hasn't affected me. And the indexers, once again, we're going to do something here, which is we're going to use another application for specifying our indexes here, which is named Prowler. So we're not going to touch it now. We're going to use Prowler to populate this. The next thing we want to do, and this is where we do have to make changes, is we go into our downloads clients. So here, like we did before, we need to click on the plus symbol, then we go to SAB and ZBD, and we can take advantage of the fact that we have already provisioned Sonar, so we can just go in another window into Sonar and grab those settings from there. So we go into downloads clients, and then we select SAB and CBD, we get the name, we copy and paste that here, make it a lot easier and faster for us. So that's the IP of our NAS, and then the port would be 8080. 8081 for SAB. We copy the API key here, and the username and the password, we copy that too. SAB and CBD, and then our category for the movies is just movies. We're gonna leave it like that. And then in the priority, we're gonna specify 4s for both of them, and we're done with this. We can just test that it connects, and it did, so we can save it. Next thing, we're gonna work with the qubit torrent. So let's go here, click plus on the torrents, we look for qubit torrent, and then we go back into Sonar and we copy the settings that we already configured. So we put the name, we put the IP of our NAS, we use port 8080 for qubit torrent, we grab the password and the username, and in the category we're gonna leave it as Radarr, because this is for movies. And then on the recent priority, we don't touch anything, but on the initial state we make sure that we have force start. And then sequential order and first and last, I usually don't select those. I want it to download anything that it can as soon as it can. So that's good. And then make sure you have remove completed selected so that it can clear those downloads from the download client once it's done and it has processed the files. We can test this, it works, and we save it. So now we have our two download clients. The next thing we need to do is actually do the mapping, because remember that we're mapping the folder in our client, download clients, to a different location in our Radarr container. So we click the plus sign, we select the IP of our NAS, and then we're going to say that the remote path is going to be downloads Radarr, and that's going to be mapped to our local downloads. So we have downloads Radarr in our downloaders mapped to downloads in our Radarr container. So now we save this. We have our mapping, we have our two clients, nothing to change because everything was changed, and we are good with this. Now if we go into the lists, once again, I don't use this, but you can use it to import a list of movies that you follow or are tracking in another place. Under connect, I don't do anything either. That's mainly for notifications. And metadata, if you are using something like Kodi, you can have it generate the metadata files that Kodi will consume. Under tags, I don't do anything here either. Let's go into general, because in general we do something. So we're going to go back here and we're going to say that we want to use forms logging, and we're going to make this Radarr. Also remember that now we have access to the API key in the general section, security of our settings. So we'll need that in the future. And other than that, we come down here. There's nothing really additionally that we need to do. So I'm going to save these changes. All right. And then in the user interface, there is really nothing here that we need to do. So that's our basic configuration for Radarr. Now everything is empty, but once we set up the indexers with Prowler, then we will see that this will get automatically populated by the other application, and then we can start searching for movies and stuff, which is going to be in our next segment. Okay, now that we have set up Prowler, we can see that we have received our indexers from Prowler and everything has been configured automatically by the other application. So we're good. We can start using our Radarr application. So let's just give it a try. Some sample things to download and a movie that has been released in a while. Let's say Titanic, for example. Alright, so here we search for the movie, and then here we add it by clicking it, and then we specify here that it's going to be in our movies folder when it's done downloading, and we want to monitor the movie, and we want it as soon as it's announced as possible. And then the quality here, let's say that we want Titanic in 1080p. That's fine for me. And yeah, we don't do anything else. Then we click add movie, and it'll add it to our list of movies that we're tracking here. And it's going to pull down some information from the movie database, so we can see like the ratings for the movie, like Rotten Tomatoes give it a 88%, IMDb has 7.9, the movie database 79, says that the files are going to be stored here in the movies Titanic folder, and currently we don't have it, it's missing, we want it in 1080p, and then more extra information. So it's searching for a movie. If you see here, this is spinning, it says completed, so it looks like it was grabbed by our NZB provider. So we can see that SAB NZBD is showing a fast download of our movie in 1080p. So it looks like it's working, and we just wait for it to finish downloading, and then we'll see if it is actually put into our NAS, into our files, media, and then we go into movies, and it'll create a folder here for that, and it will put the file there. So we just give it a little bit of time to download. It's kind of slow because it's a big file. It's almost 50 gigs, So I'll stop it by, and with the magic of YouTube, I'll be back when it's done. Alright, this is taking quite a bit of time, but it occurred to me to show you something interesting here. While it's downloading, you can come into the wrench here, and you can go into connections, and then you can click on show active connections, and it tells you how many connections for each server you're using. As you see right now, it's using all 50 connections. It's using 25 for the US servers and 25 for the European servers. So that's a good thing that I thought you should know if you want to monitor which server you're using the most and all that. Alright, it has finished downloading, and now it's in the process of unpacking, so this is going to take a little bit of time. It says almost like an hour. So, alright, we can see that the SAP NZBD application completed processing this, so now it should, in any time here, pick it up and move it into its right location. If we're a little bit impatient, we can just go ahead and force it ourselves, but it should, according to this, already be importing. So you see downloaded importing, so we just have to give it time, and it'll grab that file and it'll put it here into a new folder inside our movies folder, and that should be it for it. Alright, as we can see, if we go back into the NAS, we can see that in the movies folder, folder with the name of the movie and the date is created, and if we go inside, we see that the file is being put there. So it was successful. Hope you liked this video. Like, subscribe, and share. That'll help the channel if you like the content. Also, remember, you can write comments and suggest topics that you want covered in the channel. And that's gonna be it. See you on the next one.